Hello, I'm Amy,
And I'm Emily.
and tonight on Another Thing About Tartan, as part of our Clan of the Month celebrations of Clan Buchanan, we are so pleased to welcome George McAusland from Paisley, virtually of course, to tell us his story. George is the Regional Director within the United Kingdom and Ireland for the Clan Buchanan Society International.
I first met George when I headed up north to Luss Highland Games a few years ago, when the clan formed a clan village with Clan McEwan and Clan Cahoon. And clan villages are a big part of Highland Games out in North America, but they don't usually feature here in Scotland, so that was a really special day.
So thank you so much for joining us today, George. And why don't we start with you telling us about your last name, as you're actually a McAusland rather than a Buchanan? Can you tell us more about the connection between the McAusland sept and the Buchanans?
Well, Clan Buchanan is unique as far as I know in that it's a clan that took its name from the lands that it actually settled on. Records show that from about the 9th century, the clan was actually called McAusland or McAusland or various different other spellings at that time. And it was not until about 1240 when Gilbert McAusland began to use the name Buchanan, again from the lands that they'd settled on around Loch Lomond. As late as 1370, the charter to the land was granted to Sir Maurice McAusland, the Laird of Buchanan. And it was Maurice's grandson a few years later who officially adopted the name Buchanan, and it became Clan Buchanan thereafter. So McAusland itself was the original name of the clan itself. So it's slightly more than what a normal, just a sept of the clan would be.
Yeah. Oh, great. And have you celebrated your clan heritage from a young age then?
Personally, I was probably in my 20s when I started to actually research my own family tree. At that time, it was before the internet, so it was the local museum with the microfiche records, etc. And at that point, I got back in a direct line to about 1750. Through work commitments and various other things after that, I didn't really have a lot of time to spend on that until a few years ago when I started researching again. I was always aware at that point of the connection with the McAusland name and Clan Buchanan, but I hadn't really done a lot of work in relation to that. It was mostly my family tree was my interest at that point.
Yeah. Oh, great. And what does it mean to be a member of the clan to you?
The clan is, it's been great fun since I became involved in it. I've met some wonderful people and I've had some wonderful experiences through the clan. I've always loved the area around Loch Lomond, even before I became fully aware of the full connection. I don't know whether it was a kind of spiritual thing or what it may be, but I've always had a connection up there at some level.
Oh, great.
And how did you first get involved in the clan society? Was it quite soon after you discovered that you were a Buchanan that you became involved?
The easy answer to that, how I became it initially, is Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
I joined a Clan Buchanan Facebook page that I came across, and David Byrne, who is the president of the society at the moment, and through that we had a lot in common as far as the history and things was concerned. At that point, we used to always try and go away for a nice weekend in March every year with my wife Margaret for her birthday. And I was looking online to see if I could find, it was actually Berlin or Amsterdam, or a city break. And I happened to be conversing with David Byrne on via Messenger at the same time, and I happened to mention this is what I was doing. And he suggested, why don't we go to New York for the Tartan Day parade?
Oh, wow.
So that pricked my interest, and so I looked into it. So within a few weeks, Margaret and I were marching down 6th Avenue in New York with the kilts and the clans and the bands. It was fabulous.
Oh, wow, that sounds really cool.
Which year was it that you marched?
Sorry?
Which year was it that you
Well,
marched?
that was 2016, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Anna and I marched in 2019 was our first time. We'd wanted to for a long time, but yeah, it's a really special experience, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So through that, so the next logical step for me was to actually join the society. I joined the Clan Buchanan International Society at that point. And then through that, in 2017, the Edinburgh Military Tattoo invited all the Scottish clans to take part in the tattoo under the banner of a touch of tartan. So CBSI, having no real presence here in the UK at that point, David asked me if I would take on the job to organise the clan going to Edinburgh. So I took the job on without really knowing what it would fully entail, and I certainly never realised at that point, in the absence of a clan chief at that particular point, that I would then be asked to lead the clan onto the esplanade of Edinburgh Castle in front of 8,000 people. So again, what an experience that was.
Yeah, I was going to say that was about to be one of my questions, is that you had been telling me about that when I met you up at Luss, but I hadn't appreciated that you had actually led the clan. So yeah, it must have been such an experience for you.
Oh, that was again totally unexpected. When I was doing the organising, I had 42 adults and I think about 9 kids from the States, South Africa, Australia, and all parts of the UK that we all marched together, meeting up in the Great Hall of Edinburgh Castle. And as I said, to be asked to lead them out was just a once in a lifetime experience. And to have my family there with me, the grandkids, and all, it was just fabulous.
Oh, great. And so is that how you then became regional director after making a good job of this task?
Well, yes. Basically, during this, it was again. I keep mentioning David. David's a good friend now, and he's very, very good at roping people into things. And before I knew it, I was given the title. And I've loved every minute of it so far. So yes, it was through that whole procedure that's how that all came about.
Yeah, I must say it is because David told me that you were going to be at Luss Highland Games. That's how I ended up coming to meet you. There was again all through David. So
that's the man.
Yeah, that's it.
And what do you find has been the most rewarding aspect of working with the Clan Society?
I've always been loved meeting people, getting involved in certainly new experiences and things. And so the best thing for me has been meeting all these new people from all over the world, and obviously the events that I've mentioned so far, that been involved in them, and it's just without involvement in the clan, I would never had these experiences, and it's the people that make the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
And what's all involved in being regional director? Do you have a lot of responsibilities, and what do you all have to do?
As I mentioned previously, the CBSI has been very, very well organised for a good number of years, but it's mainly in the United States and in Australia. We've had no presence here in the UK until I was appointed. I was commissioner, it was called at that point, before there was the names were changed. So I had a blank canvas basically to do as whatever I could. So I started off by attending a good number of Highland Games, meeting people, seeing what they were doing, seeing what was involved in it, and that culminated in me having our very first clan tent, as you mentioned, at the Luss Highland Games. along with the Cahoons and the McEwens. And that was just a fabulous day. I mean, the Scottish weather was kind to us for a change.
Nice day.
So that made all the difference. So that was the first thing that I actually ran as the director here. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, with everything's been cancelled, so I was going to be doing another probably 3 Highland Games I would have been doing this year, mm-hmm. but obviously everything's been cancelled. Apart from that, it's just trying to promote the clan itself, whether it's through the Facebook pages, anything else that we can find there to get the word out there that we actually have a presence here now, and to try and get more people involved, certainly more home-based people involved. Yeah. As you can imagine, I mean, in the States, it's huge. In Australia, it's big. But here, it's we just didn't have anything. So we're starting from scratch. But I'm quite sure. But I've got a few people involved already, and the more people we can get involved, the better.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, definitely. And after over 300 years, Clan Buchanan now have their own chief, and this October was supposed to be the official inauguration. How does it feel to see a new chief appointed after all this time?
Well, again, going back to 2017, CBSI, that was when we were first informed that a claim had been made to the Lord Line in relation to the chief of Clan Buchanan. We didn't know much about what the process, or we didn't know much about who the claimant was at that point. And again, I keep going back to David Byrne. David and his wife Marianne had travelled over to Scotland, and they were actually staying with my wife and I while we attended the Edinburgh Tattoo. Mm-hmm. So David contacted the claimant, who was John Michael Bailey Hamilton Buchanan, and took the opportunity while we was here in Scotland, and we were invited up to the estate in Cambusmore near Callander, and we had lunch with the family. During that lunch, we were showing a lot of the research that had gone in over many years by a professional genealogist to prove the claim. And we basically just had a nice time meeting Mike, as he likes to be called, his wife Paula, and it was oldest son Angus joined us for lunch as well. Mm-hmm. After that meeting, David and I both agreed that not only did the claim seem more than genuine, but the family itself were lovely people that we would have no problem with working with in the future. So that was very positive for us at that point. Since the appointment of the Buchanan, I've attended a number of events with them, and they have been fantastic in the way that the whole family have thrown themselves in to all of these events, met all the clan members. They've went to events in Australia, they've went to an event in America, and things have been fabulous so far. That they've been really good, and everything that can only be positive for the future as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's really nice.
And obviously COVID put a stop to the inauguration and the clan gathering this year, but are you still hoping as a clan to reschedule as soon as it's safe to do so?
Yes, we have a planning committee in place in relation to the inauguration, which was supposed to be taking place this month. At the moment, it's been postponed for a year. We are obviously hoping that by that time international travel and everything will have settled down sufficiently that people will be able to come to the event here, because it will be a fantastic event for clan members to come to, especially being in Scotland and being held in Cambusmore Estate on the ancestral grounds of Buchanan. So we are thoroughly looking forward to host it here.
Yeah, I think it'll be really special. A shame that it's had to be delayed, but it'll all be worth it when you're able to go for it.
Just gives us an extra year to plan.
Oh,
exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, make it even better. Yeah,
exactly.
So last year, your new clan chief, John Michael Bailey Hamilton Buchanan, or Mike as you said he likes to be called, and his family attended the New Hampshire Highland Games in their first visit to America as chief. And we see that you also attended these games as well. So how did you find them?
That was an experience in itself. Again, my wife Margaret and I, we went to the States for 16 days, and we travelled up through New England, beautiful part of the country, and we incorporated the 3-day New Hampshire Games in the middle of it, which is held in the White Mountains, and it's a beautiful setting. It's actually a ski resort, which is during the winter, and it's a beautiful place. I could not believe the size of this. This was just huge. It held over 3 days with thousands upon thousands of people going through those gates over the weekend period. I've never seen anything that size before in for Highland Games. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. That being the first official engagement that the Buchanan had undertaken since his appointment, the Americans came from all parts of the country to come and meet the chief. On the opening ceremony, we had over 300 Buchanans marched.
Wow.
With the Buchanan at the head. Wow. Onto the organisers had never seen anything like this before.
I can imagine.
It was incredible. So I spent 3 days. I hardly sat down. all I did for 3 days was meet people and the Americans. There's never been a truer saying, the further away you get from Scotland, the more Scottish you become.
Yeah.
They were. I couldn't believe how knowledgeable they were. How enthusiastic. Oh, it was a fabulous time.
Yeah, I was going to say, after being not at those particular games, but other Highland Games in America and some here in Scotland, just like you, I'm always blown away by the scale of the ones in America. And like you say, just how enthusiastic everyone is. So let's hope that we can see that build here in Scotland too. But yeah, it sounds like you loved the American Games, but are there any aspects you'd like to see brought across here, or any you're not quite so sure about?
I certainly love the idea of the clan tents. I mean, in America they have like a clan village.
Oh yeah, they're big.
And the clan village in New Hampshire was huge. I mean, I don't even know how many clans were involved. I was blown away with the whole thing. I would like to see that kind of thing getting involved here. We started in a small way at Luss with the Cahoons, McEwans, and ourselves, and we will be going back there again. I mean, as soon as things sort out. Having met the Clan McEwan organiser, Sean, at Luss, we were discussing having a joint tent at the likes of the Cowl Games, which is obviously one of the bigger ones here, and various other things. So we are, and I like that idea. That's we're not there to sell anything. We're not there we're only there to promote the name of the clan and get people involved and inform people as well. And I mean that the amount of people that come up to you there and oh, my name's such and such, what clan am I in? No, so I've got the books there that I can look up, even if I don't know off the top of my head, and I can tell them, even if they're not Buchanan, I can tell them what clan they are involved in. And I just love all the interaction with people. It's just good fun.
Yeah, and I think that's what we do a lot of as well when we're at Highland Games, like you just helping people identify their clans, and we've got the map up there. So yes, we are there to sell items, but we just want to speak and meet local people as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, going on from that, there is definitely a real trend at the moment for exploring your roots and therefore more interest in Scottish heritage. So is the Clan Buchanan Society International benefiting from this, and do you see it continuing?
We have certainly, the one thing that we have noticed during this pandemic that we're all going through is we thought that membership might drop for a while, especially in America. A lot of the new members are signed up at the Highland Games that people attend just by people walking past and seeing that their name is a sept of the clan and joining. We've actually found it's been the opposite.
Oh,
That
really?
membership has actually gone up during this, and I can only put that down to the fact that the amount of people that having been in a lockdown situation, been stuck indoors, so they've been doing more research online and seeing what's what. So our membership has actually increased slightly during this, rather than what we thought might have happened. So that's been a positive during all this situation that we're dealing with.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of people posting within similar groups, that they've had their DNA tests results, and I think again that's kind of encouraging people to go and find out more, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've certainly, as part of that. I mean, I've had two different types of DNA tests done. I've done the Ancestry one, which I joined to my own family tree, which is on Ancestry. But we also have the Buchanan Project, which is a Y-DNA project, which it's only the male line that can be checked through the Y-DNA. And the more people we can get involved in that, the more people that the bigger the picture becomes as far as the DNA is concerned. The clan history, as I mentioned before, goes back to about the records show about the 9th century that we know of. There was a clan myth about a Prince of Ulster, O'Kyan, coming over and taking up lands and various things. And the DNA project that we have has blown that out of the water. That is a myth. We are the Buchanan clan and have been here in Scotland long before that could have taken place. We are very, very closely related to the McGregors, which is not surprising that as in they were our neighbours on the banks of Loch Lomond. So the DNA takes us very, very close cousins to the McGregors. My own personal DNA has given me, I've met cousins now, in contact with cousins all over the world, or second cousins, third cousins that I never knew existed until I got involved in this, which has been fabulous. During the New Hampshire Games, one of my, again, who a good friend of mine now, is James Buchanan, who is from California. And James, I'd met James at the Tartan Day event, first of all, in New York. He and his wife came over for the tattoo, and then we met them again at the New Hampshire Games. And James and I are connected through DNA, through the Buchanan Project. So we are actual relatives. I mean, it's science. You can't go against it. So it was, as well as being meeting up with these people, you actually are related to them. You know what I mean? We go back far enough. And it was another highlight. James and I were actually walking through the clan village one day, and in fact just the first day when we arrived, and we were approached by a member of one of the other clans, and who said, "George McAusland, you're my cousin." And again, he was connected to us through the DNA, and it was just unbelievable. No, it's nice.
Well, yeah, I think although I haven't met any actual relatives out in the States, you always feel at home, and like you say, everyone's just so friendly that even if you're not actually related to them, as soon as you've got that connection of Scotland, then you can chat to everyone, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, certainly, and I'm at the stage now, but with the work that I've been doing through the clan, if I wanted to, I could go to one side of the coast to the other coast in America, just staying with clan members. I mean, I don't think I have to pay for a hotel again in my life.
Oh, there you go. Definitely an added benefit.
No, it's exactly like making friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just through the clan. It's really nice.
Oh, great. And so now we best get on to the tartans. So Buchanan Modern behind us is obviously one of the brighter tartans out there. So it's not to everyone's taste. Personally, we love it, but there's so many other Buchanans out there that might not be as well known. So to anyone not sure about the Modern, there's always a Buchanan tartan out there for you. But what's your favourite one, George?
I was when I was married in the hunting Buchanan. That was the first Buchanan kilt that I had, was a hunting. Again, initially, the Modern is bright, brighter, hence the honour as the motto. It's bright, and as you say, it's not to everyone's taste. It grows on you, I've got to say. When I became the regional director, etc., because the Modern Buchanan is the most the one that people associate most with the clan. Mm-hmm. So I got myself a Modern Buchanan to go to the Edinburgh tattoo with. So I can't say I've got a favourite, and I like them all. I also, the Ancient is lovely as well. Yeah. I mean, that's a more muted colours. I mean, that's more like the colours that the tie I've got on just now. The Ancient. But if I've got to go with a favourite, it's got to be my original Buchanan hunting, because that's one I like it.
Yeah, that's nice.
There's a special connection. For it,
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, George, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been lovely to chat to you and to hear your insights into the clan and to hear your stories as well. And we wish you all of you in the clan a safe next few months, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
That's lovely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.